going on, guys? I'm here at a 95 Toyota pickup truck, and I'm changing out the one of the brake lines, one of the brake hoses in the front. There's a couple little tricks I'm going to talk about that make this whole process a lot easier. Right now, there's still fluid in the lines, but as you can see, I've got the old line off, and it's not leaking any fluid. This is because I have this. So this is a little $2 clamp. I clamped the line so that none of the fluid would drip out. And the way that I found the leak, I basically just looked at where the puddle of brake fluid was on the ground and then followed it up. And as you can see, there's a little bubble here on the hose. So that's where the weak spot is in the rubber. It's leaking from there. So first thing I did was clamp the line. Then I went and I bought the hose. Or sorry, first thing I did was clamp the hose, and then I went and I bought a replacement hose. $10 wasn't that much. And I clamped the hose so that I could work down here first at the caliper end. Replace this side first, get this end all good, and then I could change out this. This is the only time that it's going to actually leak fluid while I'm working on it, is when I take it off of this spot, because I can't clamp up here. That's a metal line, and that goes all the way to the brake reservoir. So I can't clamp up there, right? So what I'm going to have to do is change this out as fast as I can, and what I've done is just prepare ahead of time for that. Now this is kind of simple, I guess, but getting these off, I don't have a line wrench on me. I don't recommend this, but I used my Irwin vice grip pliers, and I basically I clamped. This is a 17mm here on this side. Focus. It's a 17mm here on this side, and it's 10mm here on this side. So I have my 17mm wrench, and if you look at the end of this, it's not exactly a hex. I can show a good. You see how it's shaped? It's curved on this side, and it's flat on these sides. So it's made just where the wrench can either go on from this direction or can go on from this direction. You can't put it on two different ways. You can only put it on two different ways. You can't put it on more. It's not a hex shaped. Let me look down that end. See how it's not a hex shaped bit. This is rounded off on the side, and it's supposed to be like that. So you should use a line wrench. Like on this one, you would have to use a regular wrench because it's the curvature of it fits perfectly, just like that. But you don't want to use one of these wrenches. You want to use what's called a line wrench, and a line wrench you would slip on up here and slide down. You can't slip a line wrench on like this because it's more of a socket with an opening, so it's closed off more on this end, so it would be like this, right? So you would have just enough clearance to get it around the line, and then slide it down and get it over the nut. Sorry, not the nut, the fitting. It's a hot day. I can't think straight. So I have this one loose now, and I'm about to change it out. And I've already changed out everything down on this side. It's all tight. I use my vice grip pliers to clamp onto here and pull that clip off. It's pretty easy to get off. What else? I had to loosen. I couldn't get this 10mm off because I mean, if I had a line wrench, I could have gotten more pressure on it, and I couldn't get my vice grips on. So what I ended up doing was taking the 10mm off of the bottom of the caliper down there, which is there. So I took this one off, and oh yeah, I didn't tighten that back. Now that I've got it all in, I can tighten it back. So it's a good idea to finger tighten these whenever you first start threading it in, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to cross thread it. It's pretty easy to do, just because the line, this metal line, only wants to bend. It wants to go in a certain way, and if you start putting it in wrong, then the line's going to try to kind of like forced it in wrong. So, and then this one's good. Okay, so I have these lines in, they're solid, everything is good, and I'm ready to start swapping out this line. Now, because I need two hands, I don't have a second person here to hold the camera, so I'm going to actually, I'll have to stop the camera. So that's going to be the end of this video, but that's basically just the little tricks I wanted to show. Is you want to use one of these clamps, because I've had this off for 10 minutes, and I haven't leaked any fluid. I was able to work down here, change all this out, screw it in here, thread it in here, put everything on, take this metal line off and work with that. It was a little bit of a pain, but you can imagine if I'm doing this without the advantage of a clamp here, it would be a lot harder to do. So another thing you can do is, I didn't bring my syringe, but you can get a syringe and kind of hold this upright and fill this up with fluid ahead of time. So you would put the syringe on here, and you would just slowly fill it up with fluid, pushing the brake fluid in from this side, so that you would fill up the line all the way up to there, to where it's ready just to overflow pretty much. That way you don't have to bleed it much, and then you'll just keep it upright like that, like in the position that it is right now, whenever you swap this line out to this line. That way you don't have very much air in the lines. Whatever is up here already, however much it's leaked out, hopefully your system didn't leak out a lot to where it was pretty dry. So anyway, that's it. That's all my tricks really I want to really talk about, just to make this whole thing easier. Sorry it's not like a full instructional on like, hey, this is how you turn the wrench. I hope you guys know how to turn a wrench. I'm not going to show you how to do that. But yeah, so that's it. This makes it a lot easier, this clamp. So it lets me just record the video, and I don't have to worry about fluid leaking out. So so that's it. Just wanted to throw those little tricks up. Toyotas are mostly going to be 17mm and 10mm, like the truck is. Other cars are going to be different if you're watching this and you have something other than a Toyota. So, but this line fitting here is probably going to be a 10 if it's an American. If it's not an American-made car, if it's one of the great countries that use the metric system. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, positive comment. Leave your negative comments out of this. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it helped. Thanks.